Today we are going to review scientific notation. There is a very specific format for scientific notation. So this number has to be a single digit. So it can be 1, anything greater than 1 but not 10 for any positive numbers. Or it can be -1 all the way down to -10 but not including -10. It must be a single digit number. This number represents how many decimal spaces we have. And of course, our decimal would go right there. When you are converting from standard form to scientific notation, you have to find the invisible decimal point. So it's always at the end if it's not showing. And we need to move it directly after the first digit. So we need to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places in this case, so that our first factor is a single number. Everything after the decimal I can recopy. Probably don't need those zeros at the very end. Times 10, and I had moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places so that the decimal is now after the very first digit. For the second example, again, I want to pick up the decimal and move it 1, 2, 3 spots, so it will now sit after the first non-zero digit. So I'll have 4, then my decimal point, 9, 7, times 10, and I moved it 1, 2, 3, but I moved it to the right, so it's a -3 spaces. When I'm converting from scientific notation to standard form, I have to pay attention to the sign of my exponent. Whenever I have a negative exponent, I have a decimal number. I'm going to be moving my decimal to the left. When I have a positive exponent, I have a whole number, and I'm going to be moving my decimal to the right. So in my first example, I'm going to move my decimal 2 places to the left. I'm going to move it once, add a 0, move it twice, and plop it down. So my decimal number is 0, decimal point, 0.849. In my second example, I'm going to pick up my decimal. I'm going to move it to the right 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plop it down, and then simply recopy my number 6. And in this case, I need my zeros because they're embedded within the number 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 2. Just to make things easy, I'm going to put in my commas. My answer is 6,032,000. Finally, when either multiplying or dividing numbers in scientific notation, I'm going to follow the same 3 steps. First, I'm going to multiply or divide our first factors. Then if I'm multiplying, I'm going to add my exponents from my power of 10. If I'm dividing, I'm going to subtract my exponents from my power of 10. And I'm going to make sure my answer is in correct scientific notation. So my first example is a multiplication problem, and I'm going to take this factor times this factor. 3 and 9/10 times 6 and 1/10 is 23 and 79/100 times 10 to the, and I'm going to add these two, 5th power. But that's not in proper scientific notation. I don't have a single number before my decimal. So when I rewrite it, I'll have 2 and 379 thousandths times 10 to the 6th power. On my second example, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take 12 and 25 hundredths divided by 2 and 5/10. That will give me 4 and 9/10 times 10, and I need to subtract these two to the 2nd power. That is in correct scientific notation, so I'm good to say these are my answers.